Hello. So there's a question that gets asked a lot, and that's about which heroes not to do health on. Again, this was asked again most recently on probably my recent video that I posted yesterday. But a lot of times this comes up like people ask why I haven't maxed out Lars, or why I skipped health cliffs on Lars, or something. That's why I say I should skip health cliffs on Lars. I didn't skip them, and I always say I should have. That's why I didn't level them more. But there's other heroes I did not do health cliffs on. There's a lot of heroes I haven't. And part of that is is like have how the energy system in this game works is that as you take damage, a hero gains energy based on how much life they've lost. If a hero loses 30% of their max health, they gain 30% energy. So let's say, like I said, so it's just how the math works. So less health means you gain energy faster, you can use your ult faster. So this is can be really important to have low health on like a DPS, especially for someone like Lars, who is very timing dependent with Krista. So my Lars has 221,000 health, which a lot of times that's almost too much. And you can actually, if you fully max him, you can get that almost to 400,000. So, but I pretty much got him to red rank and stopped leveling him. I did this one because that's just magic penetration, which is always a stat you want. But the rest of this stuff adds a lot of health, just health, a lot of health. So I didn't do any of these items. This one adds a bunch of health through the strength. This is a health item. So it's like all these are like have a lot of health on them. So I did not level this up. But I kind of just want to talk. Like I said, a lot of people always ask which heroes I shouldn't do, which ones I should. So pretty much like on tank heroes, you can pretty much always level up their health. Like how more health on tanks is almost always good. I mean, Aurora in particular, for her specific needs. Like if Rainbow Halo skill is based on her max health, how much it can absorb. So if Aurora has a million, it's based on 10%. So if Aurora has a million health maximum, Rainbow Halo can absorb 100,000 damage before it explodes. So more health helps here. For like beginner players, health is a bit of a lower priority because you definitely want dodge first. Dodge, magic penetration, magic attack, I think are more important for Aurora for like newer players. And then you do strength and health later. Especially if you don't have Kane yet. Having less health can help her ult a bit more faster, especially with dodge energy and stuff. Like if you have a high dodge on the low levels, I mean Aurora can be almost untouchable to physical attacks just by the power of dodge. Just because because of how dodge works, the opposing teams are not going to have high primary stats yet. So you can pretty much get away with lower health on Aurora in the lower levels. I mean, it won't work at level 130, but by then you should have all of her glyphs maxed. Same thing with her skins, like you'll want to do dodge first. Said, and pretty much all tanks, though, you can always do health. Like, health is not bad on tanks. Tanks are there to take the brunt of the damage for you, so health on them is good. Other heroes you can skip, you can do health on, or heroes who don't use energy. Heroes like Isaac, who not only does he not use energy, he actually is gains charge faster when he has more health. So more health on Isaac is actually good. So you can't have too much health on Isaac. More is better on him. Another hero that has no restriction with health is Astrid and Lucas, who I can't even find right here. So Astrid and Lucas, they also don't use energy, though Astrid and Lucas sucks, so you shouldn't be wasting your runes in their health cliff. But there is no downside to raising their health cliff other than you wasted resources into Astrid and Lucas. Same with their skin, because it's a terrible hero. So, like I said, don't waste resources into them. But that's the only reason you shouldn't. Other heroes you can skip, you can do health cliffs on without an issue is like dodge heroes. Nebula, like you can always put like Kane to fix energy, but for Nebula in particular, though, you also use her versus the guild raid boss, and having extra health can definitely help her improve her survivability there. So pretty much dodge heroes like Yasmin can make a lot of sense to have more, but I actually skip. I haven't done it on mine yet, but mine does end up being a bit squishy. I have thought about it, but it just really depends on like I said, because the extra health there, if we could get her health over 300,000, and I haven't really done that. She gets a bunch from Ascension and stuff though too, so kind of want to finish up her Ascension stuff first, and then figure out if I have enough health on her before I start it, because you can't ever undo anything except your sparks. You can't undo your sparks, but that doesn't add too much. I mean, compared to everything else. Um, like that, so that's stuff you can do with so those are heroes you can usually get away with, like all the dodge heroes. Dante, Aurora's already a tank, but Yasmin. Like usually you can put extra health on them. Not too much downside. There's a few other heroes that are maybes. Like Aiden's a maybe. I did a video about him a couple days ago. Like where I was talking about like his abilities here. Like yeah, this one here is like based on if he drops below 30% health, he will self-ignite, doubling his health regen. So if he has less max health, he'll actually get to that point faster. But on the other hand, he'll make it back up to 60% faster if he has less health, so it's kind of a catch-22. On the other hand, he does Bond's Flame, so having more health here does allow him and your main tank to last longer. So there's pros and cons. I mean, you know, using his ult more often, like his ult is actually pretty good. This one's actually a pretty good ult, so being able to use this more frequently, again, with having low health, might be beneficial, so it's kind of a maybe. Another hero that is counterintuitive is Martha. You should not level health on her. I really regret it on her, and that's because of guild rates. Martha being able to ult more often, like because her ult adds speed buff. She can also buff defense with her artifact. Martha adding speed up is actually pretty good in guild rates. Like being able to ult more often is actually more important. So skipping health glyph, skipping health skin, I recommend on Martha. Skip this skin, skip this glyph on Martha, and probably don't take her too far in Ascension. Mine's only Ascension rank 2. Like you probably want to skip all. Like try to keep her health a bit lower. Like my Martha has 600,000, over 600,000. That's way too much. Like ideally you'd have her on below 500,000, but I can't undo glyphs and skins, which is a feature a lot of people do want because, again, the energy system in this game kind of like it's not well thought out because it kind of rewards you, kind of punishes you for over investing in heroes and stuff. Heroes you definitely shouldn't be putting a lot of health into, though, are most your like DPS heroes. Like as I said, Lars is a great example. I mean, Lars probably like one of the biggest examples because of how he Eye of the Storm, like it does no damage by itself. It does a lot of damage if Krista is on the field and the ice frozen needles are up. The frozen needles are up some of the time, so you gotta time it. Krista herself though is like one of those, she can be a tank. More health on her, like it doesn't, like her ult, I mean, it does some damage, it buffs magic attack, I mean, but her ult really doesn't do a lot of damage, especially when it sends without magic penetration. So it's like having more energy on Krista doesn't matter. Faster energy gain of Krista doesn't matter as much. You can make her tankier. The reason you might not want more health is because this is based on percentage. So if you have lower health, this will come up more often. On the other hand, if she's in our ice state, she literally can't do anything for this. It's pretty much like being stunned. There are some situations where Krista can actually be the right option for a main tank, especially in like PvE content, though there are some, like, so she can be kind of good versus Ishmael as a tank, which is one of those things. I probably should do a video about that someday too, about using Krista as a tank. Like said, again, a lot of times you wouldn't even necessarily have Lars in those teams. But Krista, like said, she's kind of, this is an interesting ability, but generally though, I do think this is one hero you can put health in, not worried, not too much of a downside. It's like just because you can't, she may do okay as a tank. It's kind of like a special thing because she can't get one shot. This protects her against one shot kills, so that is like said. So she immune to one shots that way. Like I said, healers less health is good. I wish I could take off my health glyph here. I never did her health skin. But my Thea, I feel like my Thea was way better when she had less health because she could dump her a little more often, which meant that she could use the magic defense buff more often, especially now that I have all the ascension abilities on Thea. Like my ascension on Thea is like fully maxed. Like this, now she can overheal. So being able to heal more often is actually really beneficial to Thea now, since there's literally no limit on her healing. She can keep overhealing ad infinitum. So being able to ult more often is very, very, very good on Thea. So plus she gets a whole lot from an ascension to get that rank 5. So yes, definitely skip her health, skins, and glyphs. Said again, my did not max out all of her health. I only did it halfway. Probably shouldn't have done it that much, but we skipped her health skin. So pretty good here on Maya. Like said, try again. I think keeping her low because she can do quite a bit of damage. That way, Morgan. I have not done her health skin. I did do her glyph. This one's pretty. there's pros and cons to both because she has a heal ability that is percentage based. This is like a self heal. See this one. It's just a Moonlight below 20%. So, like, say if she has more health, she'll be able to heal herself a bit more before she dies. So there's like strong case to be made. She should have her health leveled up. I've not done, like I said, she's DPS. Like her ults are really powerful. There's a lot of damage. Honestly, this is probably one I definitely would probably recommend skipping health on her. Martha skip health. Fox probably should skip health. She has 2 health skins. I only did one of them. I probably shouldn't have done that one, but this was like Fox, like as well as Heroes. I mean, most of my investment I did in Fox was way back in like 2019, like when I was a newer player. But even that health skin, like at range 4, she's only 227. Like, so she doesn't have a lot of health, so she's very glass cannony. Again, Astaroth health. And Vari, a lot of times you'll use him as a tank, so usually you probably want health on him, just because you're going to play him as a tank. We didn't talk about Sebastian. Sebastian's a big one we should talk about. Sebastian, because you use him for the raid boss, I do think more health is probably better for the raid boss because he has a tendency to die like early. If he dies early, that really hurts your score versus the boss. There are benefits to having less health in PvP, but it's, on the other hand, Sebastian just surviving can be better. So there's some pros and cons here, but generally I do think you're probably better off having health, at least in the long run. Especially when at least when you're fighting like I said, it's definitely needed for the raid boss, so there's kind of like not much of an option there. Arachne, I say recommend skipping health. I probably shouldn't have done that. Less health on Arachne means more ults. I didn't do her health skin. I guess I did 2 levels, but that was an accident. Well, 1 level, because it starts level 1. I accidentally did 1 level up one time, apparently. But keeping the health low on Arachne allows for more ults. Like I said, she has lots of stuns. You generally, like, does her stuns by ults. Plus, she has good vampirism, so she has self-healing. Vampirism, how much she heals is based on how much damage she does. If she has less max health, she will heal a higher percentage of her health. So Arachne, like I said, just having less health, I think, on her is generally going to be better. Like I said, this is actually probably pretty good balance, about 330,000, probably pretty good. But as we get our ascension up, we actually got our ascension max, so we're not too bad here. Like if we did the control branch, I think this adds like, I don't know how much. I think it adds probably like 40 something thousand though, so that would make her about 370,000 ish max out if I remember the stats correctly. Which quite a bit of there, but she would get the extra armor. Like Arachne has a lot of armor. But yeah, no, pretty much though, like as a blanket statement, I mean, just as a like skip, like on healers and damage dealers, you probably want to have lower health. On control heroes, it's kind of a case by case basis. Like Jorgen, less health is better. You don't want to have too much health. Less health is better because of his ult, so important, like getting more on his ult. There's some weird cases like Iris whose ult is actually based on her health. More health makes her ult more powerful. So you actually on Iris, you probably do want the health, but also she is really frail. Like if she doesn't have that extra health, she already dies pretty easily, even maxed out. So you probably do want the health on her, especially because of how this works. It has a 200% modifier on it, which is huge. So this is one of those cases where damage dealer, you probably do want more health. Said Peppy, probably not. I'd probably skip it on Peppy. Just because they're more damage dealer. Ishmael, you feel at times he's pretty tanky. You want more health on him so he can survive. Lilith, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Lilith. Got nerfed. Used to be all about having more health on her. Now it's like Lilith is so bad now. Like I don't even know how to maximum. So this still possession still based on her max health. So I guess you would want health, but she's so terrible now that I don't recommend her at all. Again, Daredevil, probably less health. Tink, keep health. Tristan's interesting as a strength hero. So you, like I said, there's case to be made that you would want health, but he's more of a damage dealer, so probably not. Oh, that reminds me, we forgot about talking about Ju too. This is another hero I would recommend skipping health on. Just do the strength, because that will get a lot of health on him already. Like, because he's strength hero, he already has a whole lot of health, even without the health cliff. He doesn't have any health skins to worry about, but even without the health cliff, he gets a whole lot of health anyway, which is probably way more than he needs, because Ju, Ju like clutching out and stuff is about because he's invincible when he ults, so being able to ult more often is super important for Ju. So skipping that health cliff absolutely critical. And like I did not do this last node on his ascension tier. I did everything else, but this is just health, so I skipped that. But he gets way too much health, like because he's strength arrows. So you know, so definitely skip the health cliff on Ju. You don't want that extra health. Isn't too much more to say. I mean, like just no health, no health, no health, no health, health, no, 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 no. Yes. Maybe. Like it's Fafnir. He doesn't do any damage, so it's Holt. It's probably. I mean, he can stun. It protects. I mean, probably doesn't matter too much. You can do whatever you want there. Probably helps have more health just for the survivability since his ult's kind of. I don't know. Fafnir's an interesting hero. Heidi's a dodge hero, so you will probably raise his health. Like I said, he also has low health. In general, even with his, like I said, he doesn't even have a health glyph, so like there's no health skins or glyphs to even worry about on Heidi. So it's nothing. It's not as hard to mess up on Heidi. Phobos again, no health skin. There's a health glyph. Phobos you probably want to skip though. But tanks, Dante's dodge hero. Dodge hero, but he's in the back line. You might want more health on him just because he's kind of squishy, but I don't think, like I said, Jet's kind of a niche hero, very narrow. Case to be made for both, but I'm very, like I said, you can't take it off once you put it on, so usually I recommend just saving those things for last, see how they work. If they're working well for you without the health glyphs and skins, probably skip them. Kark, he's warrior. I mean, I'd probably skip the health glyphs just because Kark's way heavy on his ult. Like everything about him is his ult to survive, to win. So more ults is better. Kai, he has vampirism. His ult's really powerful, so you probably want to keep his health low there too. Oh yeah, I think we forgot to mention Kira. Kira is one of those weird ones because her ult, while it does damage, her basic attack honestly does more because of this Dancing Blades. Again, Ricochet deal 25% of basic damage to each hit, so she has AE damage with her basic attack. So she does a lot of damage to her basic attack, so ults are less important for her. Kira's main issue is like survivability, so more health on her is actually probably good. That's kind of like the exception, so I kind of feel like we've had like a brief rundown of most of these. Leanne, like her passive is really what makes her good, so you could probably put more health on her as well. Since I mean her ult does help, but when Sensei reworked her, her passive is honestly like the goat move with her. But yeah, so that's I think a good like overview on who to put health on, who to skip health on. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to know more about this, I did a video a while back about Martha, about why you need to stop investing in Martha. That's also kind of in the same vein, and you can check that video out below. Thanks for watching.